Welcome, everybody. Major League Baseball right around the corner. I'm talking once again with Mark Lathrop about a very interesting system that he uses called Sabermetrics to determine team win totals for over and under. And we're going to talk about the AL Central today. Of course, that's where Kansas City reigns, the world champions from last year. Mark, first and foremost, glad to have you back with us. Let's get into the AL Central, and I'll just turn it over to you. And if you want to start out with, let's say, Detroit. What do you think of those Tigers this year?
Well, the Detroit Tigers were a little disappointing last year, winning only 74 games. They were projected to win 81, which, was an over pick for me. So this year they're a pass as far as over-under total. One of their problems is pitching. They're projected to have the second worst pitching staff in the entire major league. And that's not going to work for them in that division. I know Comerica is a huge park, and so they can get away with some pitching deficits, but half their games are on the road. So I'm passing on the Tigers. As far as the division goes, there is a small lean on the under, as I don't think they've improved enough to really come up to a 500 club as far as their record from last year.
Yeah, that's a team that was, built on pitching for so long, and it's amazing what has happened to their unit and their rotation. What do you think of the Chicago White Sox this year? Can they turn the corner and possibly surprise some people?
Well, the White Sox, their rotation is really based on Chris Sale and not much else. They had a terrible offense last year. It was last in the American League, and to that, they've added Todd Frazier. But that only brings them up in the projection world anyway to 27th in the league. So you're looking at breakout candidates from, Austin Jackson, Melky Cabrera, and those really aren't the type of players you want to be hanging your hat on as far as, an over-under bet or even the division at this point.
How about the Minnesota Twins? There were some rumblings out there. They made some, interesting moves. What do you think about the Twins, and what is their number set at as far as team wins?
Minnesota's set at 78.5, and their projected total is 80.5, which is just high enough or just close enough to, in my system, to make it a pass as far as an over-under total. They do have some interesting pieces. I'm pretty interested to see how Byung-ho Park translates from Korea to the major leagues. Miguel Sano should be a star, but they might be a year or two early as far as competing in this division.
Now, how about the Kansas City Royals, the reigning champions? What is your thought? Can this team possibly, match what they did last year? Will they have that offensive intensity?
Well, the projection system says no. First of all, and what we're seeing here is a little bit of market dynamics with their magic from last year. It really lifting their over/under total to where it probably shouldn't be at 85.5, and they're projected to be a 500 team, and that is the strongest under lean in my whole system is with Kansas City. They do have some nice players, but they are actually kind of on the back end of their window. You look at Lorenzo Cain. He's never played more than 140 games a year. Alex Gordon's 32, coming off an injury. Their catcher, Salvador Perez, has really been declining offensively since 2011. So this is basically the back end of that window. I do like their closer, though. Wade Davis he's pretty slick.
Yes, he is. And, that team last year, they were, a lot of the experts said they wouldn't win the division. They just still had that thirst to win that title. So after winning it last year, I kind of agree with you. I think this team might slack off a bit, and age might catch up with them as well. Like you said, with the injuries, Alex Gordon, he's not a young puppy anymore. The number, was that 85.5 for the total wins for Kansas City?
That was 85.5, and the projection system says if everything goes right, there'll be a 500 team, which I think is right on.
Wow, very interesting. Okay, viewers, you heard it. A slight lean on Kansas City on the under of 85.5 total wins. Check out Mark's articles, and he's also going to be having a daily article with picks for Major League Baseball. Very interesting angle to cash the ticket in Major League Baseball as well. Mark, thanks so much for being with us. I look forward to talking to you again real soon, my friend.